Hello, my friend. We are back again this week. I had so many questions after last week's video. Jen, why didn't you do all 21 days of beauty? Because we're doing them every week. At least we're going to try. We are back for the second week of the 21 days of beauty where I'm going to help you not to buy crap. We're going to go through what's available this week for the sale. If that sounds interesting to you, hang tight. We're getting into it right now. I was so happy about the response last week to the first week of 21 Days of Beauty, my recommendations and my not recommendations of the things that are available. So I decided I just had to do it again because there was just so much interest in it. Before we get going, I do want to give my disclaimer. I am not a dermatologist. I am not an esthetician. If you want a professional opinion, please go to those people. What I am is an ingredient enthusiast. I find this stuff absolutely fascinating. It is my hobby, as well as something that I've just incorporated into my job here on YouTube. Just like you may be really interested in manga or silent films or the animals of West Africa. I don't know what you're interested in, but whenever you're really interested in something, you know how you like try to learn everything you can about it? That's the way I am, especially about skincare ingredients. All right, with that being said, let's get into the first day of the 21 Days of Beauty, which is March 24th, well, the first day of this week. So the first product here is the IT Cosmetics, and it's two different powders, the Bye Bye Pores Silk HD Anti-Aging Micro Powder and the Bye Bye Pores Pressed Anti-Aging Finishing Powder. I do believe I decluttered the pressed version because it left my face looking like Casper the Ghost. It was like, it left a horrible white cast on my face, and if I did try to brush it away, I felt like it brushed the effects of the powder away. I did read some of the reviews and some people seem to be pretty happy with the performance of this. I personally was not. For me, I would say these are a no, don't buy them. I personally just didn't enjoy the performance, and the skincare benefits don't seem to be good enough for the price. Is my voice too loud? I feel like I'm projecting. Oh, bring it on back, Jen. Bring it on down. Find your zen. Find your peace. Goodness gracious, I'm all hyped up. Okay, so next up is IT brushes for Ulta. I really, really like IT brushes for Ulta. They're very, very soft. I love the performance of them. I did have one brush after lots of love break in half where the ferrule just completely came apart from the rest of it with the glue. But other than that, I mean, the performance of them have always been good for me. I've always really enjoyed them. So that's gonna be a recommend if you're in the market for these big fluffy powder brushes. Next are two products from Murad. We have the Acne Cleanser and the Oil Control Mattifier. Murad as a brand seems to be a pretty legit skincare line. The Acne Cleanser does have as its main ingredient the BHA salicylic acid, which is the chemical exfoliator that's great for acne prone skin. So that's a really good thing. It's able to penetrate into your pore lining and kind of and like clear it out. Excuse me if you're like sensitive to those kinds of sounds. I just realized some people don't like those kinds of sounds. I apologize. I'm very sorry, I won't do it again. So it exfoliates not just the surface of your skin, but inside your pores as well, and that's why it's such a great acne treatment. I do wanna warn you though that there is menthol in this product. There's also a bunch of citrus oils toward the bottom of the ingredient list. So if you don't like fragrance in your skincare, if you don't like a cooling feeling on your skin, you probably would wanna pass on this, but as far as the actual skincare in here, it looks pretty legit. The Oil Control Mattifier is actually number one, a sunscreen, which I thought was really, really interesting. It has the octinoxate sunscreen in it. The sunscreens that have that have been banned in Hawaii because of the coral bleaching. So if you live in that kind of area, I definitely recommend not using this particular product. Or if you're concerned about the product washing down into the sink, I would definitely stay away from this one. There are some really good skincare ingredients in here if for whatever reason you're not bothered by that. There's urea, which some people think is made from urine. It's not, it's synthetic when it comes to skincare. It's a mild exfoliator. It's a moisturizer, and it actually helps the rest of the skincare seep into the skin. There's trehalose that helps your skin to retain moisture. There's also yeast amino acids, which is an antioxidant. There's retinol palmitate, which of course has all these crazy mixed information about it. Benefits are like anti-aging and pore reduction and overall skin texture, but some research suggests that it is a photosensitizer. So just be aware of that. The American Academy of Dermatology says that it's not a photosensitizer, but it is put in a lot of sunscreen, so it's not unusual to see retinol palmitate paired with other sunscreen ingredients. So you just kind of have to take that information and wherever your stance is, go with it or not. But yeah, that's the facts. That's the way it is. So you have to decide. I've never tried either of these. Something I have tried though is this palette right here. This is the Tarte Pro Remix palette. I feel like this palette did not get enough love. I think this palette freaked people out because it was like, Tarte, make a bright colored palette, Tarte, you gotta stop doing something so boring. And then they came out with the paint splatter. I have ADD, so am I allowed to say this? ADD looking design of this craziness, but the quality is really good. To be honest with you, the quality of the shadows is wonderful. It's just a matter of figuring out what colors you like to put together here, because I feel like sometimes I get lost and I'm not really sure what colors I want to put together, so I typically end up staying safe and sticking to one pop of color with a bunch of neutrals with it. But it is really, really good quality. I do very much enjoy it, but I don't find myself reaching for it a whole lot just because it kind of makes my brain go, ah! So, but it is really, really good. The other thing is the Pro Glow blush palette. I haven't tried that, but I do like Tarte blushes. And one thing I really like about Tarte blushes on the whole is that they're buildable. So you can use a more dense brush, you can put it on, add a little more until you end up with the color you like. You don't have to worry about going straight to clown face and just being like, oh my gosh, I'm right out of an 80s movie. Like, this is not good. So yeah, I really, honestly, I recommend both of those if you're in the market for those. Moving on to the 25th. This is gonna be a long video if I keep talking this much. Holy moly. Okay, the Lancome La Base Pro Oil-Free Primer. I looked at the ingredients and I laughed. I actually was by myself and I laughed out loud. It's just silicone in a bottle that you spray on your face. But I have no idea why the retail price is $42 for a bottle of cyclopentasiloxane and dimethicone cross polymer. That makes no sense to me. But the positive is it might actually work because silicones do help makeup stay on longer. So sure, you know, sure. I've never tried it though. The Skin Iceland eye gels. Okay, I remember vividly sitting at Generation Beauty in the hotel room with Linda from Glitter Fallout, and we were about to go out for the night, and we both put, you know, she brought the Icelandic Relief eye gels, which is the next thing. She brought them with her, and I've tried them before. I really, really enjoy them for an eye gel. They're cooling, they feel really good. Do they do anything? Probably not, unfortunately. Even though they feel really, really good, I do feel like there might be a little bit of temporary firmingness going on when I've used them before, but it's really not. I mean, it's more of a pampering kind of experience rather than legit skincare, in my opinion. There is a high amount of olive oil, which is a good antioxidant. It fights against bacteria, but it might not be good for sensitive skin. There is a study on straight olive oil that it destroys your skin's barrier. It is really high up on the ingredient list, which I don't really like to see. But if you're only using these eye gels once a week, twice a week, you'll probably be fine. So that's really up to you. I mean, they're kind of fun. There's things like ginkgo biloba extract, which is skin soothing and antioxidant. You know, I mean, it's one of those, do I think that they are a must-have? No, but they're kind of fun. This, I was very, very surprised and very happy in the ingredients, the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus scents. Now, if you know me, you know I do not like to spray any kind of primer or anything on my face. I don't like the texture of it, so I don't use setting sprays. I have used Fix Plus as far as like a shadow enhancer, where you put a little shadow on your brush and you spray it with the Fix Plus and it intensifies the shadow. I love it for that purpose, but I know MAC Fix Plus is a staple in a lot of people's makeup routine. There's no denatured alcohol in it, which is fantastic. A lot of those kinds of sprays have denatured alcohol and it kills your skin's barrier. It's awful. But there's nothing in there. There's glycerin, which is a humectant. It's going to pull the moisture into your skin. There's cucumber extract, green tea extract. There is fragrance though, of course, because they're scented. But I mean, this is a classic product. If you've never tried Fix Plus, this may be a time to try it, even if you're just using it as a way to intensify your shadows that you're packing on your lid. I think that it's definitely worth the price. Okay, Bare Minerals Statement Luxe Shine Lipstick or Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick. I've never tried the Shine lipsticks, but I can tell you I love the Gen Nude lipsticks. Those things are so creamy. They feel good. They're opaque. They don't have a good lasting power though. They're just a typical lipstick. They don't have like any kind of staining power or anything, but they're really nice lipsticks. So I would definitely recommend the Nude Radiant lipsticks. I don't know about the Luxe Shine lipsticks. I've never tried those, but for $10, yes, definitely. On March 26th, okay, if you have never had an opportunity to try an Ofra highlighter and you love the bright shine of a highlighter, you like your cheeks glow into the gods, Ofra highlighters, they're so good. And I have the Nikkietutorials highlighting trio. I have them all as the individuals, but they're all amazing. They're beautiful. The only thing is just kind of look and see whether you would use those tones or not, because like there's a white in there, I know. I think there might be like a darker gold. So that would be the only thing that I would say would deter me from recommending it to you, is if you know you wouldn't use the shades or if they're too bold and poppy for you. But they have wonderful lasting power. They're a fantastic formula. They're one of my favorite highlighting formulas of all time. So yes, 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 yes. Okay, I tried to do research on this next one. This is the Serum Vital HGH dietary supplement. Okay, the advertisement for these pills that you take, this dietary supplement, is it's supposed to help your human growth hormone production. Okay, I did do some research on this. Again, I'm not an expert, but there is some evidence that taking the L-arginine, which is one of the ingredients in these supplements, will help your human growth hormone. But why is that a good thing for human growth hormone? Just like it sounds like, as you get older, you stop producing this thing and you start getting those signs of aging. Like for me, my metabolism has gone to over the past like 3 years. Like I can't just eat anything I want anymore. I mean, that's been a while. That's been like 10 years. I haven't been able to eat anything I want. But like now, like an extra like 100, 200 calories sometimes, I'll be like, man, I need to stop with those extra 100, 200 calories. Like that is the loss of the human growth hormone. Human growth hormone also helps with your cell repair. So if you have less of it, your signs of aging appear to be more. So that's a good thing. But do you need a pill in order to do this? Science says, no, you do not need a pill. What you can do is you can lose your body fat percentage, which is harder as you get older. You can decrease your sugar intake, which is going to lower your body fat, hopefully. You can exercise at a high intensity and also getting a good night's sleep. All of those things can help to increase your human growth hormone, and all of those are free. So it is up to you whether you want that in a pill form that may or may not work, or you just want to take good care of your body that science says you should do anyway. So that one's gonna be a no for me, dog. No for me. So next up, Butter London's all the lip products from them. I've never tried a Butter London lip product, so I can't speak to those. The Kate Somerville Wrinkle Warrior 2-in-1 Plumping Moisturizer and Serum. Okay. I feel like Kate Somerville is very hit and miss as far as the skincare ingredients that I like to personally see in skincare. So we don't get to any skincare really good stuff until we get to the 6th ingredient, which is glycerin, which is that humectant that's gonna pull the moisture into your skin. The really good stuff starts at ingredient number 11, where we have that trehalose we talked about earlier. We have betaine, which is a humectant, and it can temporarily minimize your fine lines, like the depth of them. There's also hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, which is a really, really good humectant, and then sodium hyaluronate, which again is a really, really good humectant. So if you're lacking moisture in your skin and you want to kind of plump your skin with more moisture, more hydration, then this may be a great product for you. But I don't know if I would use this as a wrinkle warrior. I would say this is more of a hydration product based on what I'm seeing right now. All right, we're on to March 27th, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. Again, no denatured alcohol. Yay! But we do have isopropyl isosterate, which is an alternative to denatured alcohol. It's not quite as bad, but it's definitely not something I really like to see. It does have a high comedogenic rating. So if you are acne prone, I would not recommend this particular product. I think it's like a 4 or a 5 as far as the comedogenic rating. So that would be a no for you. There is glycerin in here, which is that humectant, niacinamide, which helps to even the skin tone. The urea, I almost called it urethra. Not urethra, Jen, urea. The urea, which is a really good skincare ingredient. So if you are not acne prone, I would be more likely to recommend this to you than if you are acne prone. I've never tried it. The Pure 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Foundation, I have used this, and what I like to use this for is for a lower coverage foundation, like a BB cream, or just something that's lower coverage. If I want to beef up the coverage a little bit, I'll top this over top of my BB cream, and it will make it a little bit more coverage, and it leaves a really nice finish. I really like the finish. Did I say finish? I think I said finish. But it does leave a really nice finish on the skin, and I do really like it. Do I think it's a must-have? No. But I think at the price point, it might be worth it to you. The Persona Cali Glow Highlighter, I've never tried that. I have tried Persona eyeshadows and really enjoyed those, but I've never tried their highlighters. I'm sorry, I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to are the Nude Sticks lips. For a while, I kind of liked them. I think I just really don't like the matte ones. The matte ones flake really, really bad. They dry out and they're flaky and gross. So if you're gonna get the glossy ones, I would say maybe if you like that whole pencil format. I don't think they're anything to run out and just absolutely purchase, but I definitely wouldn't recommend the matte ones. They're kind of icky. All right, Beauty Bakery, Flower Setting Powder. Yes, this is probably my favorite Beauty Bakery product of all time, along with their blending eggs. The blending eggs, just side note, they're a little harder than a beauty blender, but they work really, really well and they're a lot less expensive. But I love the Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder. I use this interchangeably, like with the Bare Minerals one that they had last week. The Too Faced powder that's gonna be, I think, later on. I'm not sure if it's this week or next week. We'll find out in a minute. But I use it interchangeably with the Too Faced one. I mean, it's just really finely milled. It's really good. I mean, I have a lot of powders that I really like just as much as this one, but it is good if you're in the market for a good setting powder. It's good stuff. And then finally we have the Qatari Coconut Rose Toner. Okay, so witch hazel water is the main ingredient in this. And what makes witch hazel really, really good is something called the tannins, like kind of like what you would hear like tannins in wine, the tannins. But because it's a water, not an extract, I would assume there's no tannins in there. So basically the skincare stuff isn't going to be nearly as good to non-existent as far as that, which makes me kind of sad. If it does have the tannins, it should reduce inflammation and it should help combat free radicals, which is really, really good. What it probably will do, even if it doesn't have the tannins, is be an astringent to shrink your pores and help fight off acne. And then the only other notable ingredient in this is the coconut fruit extract, which is skin conditioning. Coconut fruit extract is different than coconut oil, but I couldn't find anything like in my limited search that this was the first time I'd searched for it. Couldn't find out why they're different. They're just different. The extract versus the oil. I don't know, but just know that they're different. And those are the only real skincare things in here. So I don't know, it just seems like you could probably find a better toner even at that price. All right, on March 28th, the Buxom Full-On Plumping Lip Creams. Those are so fun. If you like a more subtle lip color, they're very, very fun. I really, really like them. They do have a little bit of a minty feel to them if I remember correctly, so just be aware of that. If you don't like a minty feel, you probably won't like them, but they're kind of classic. The Dermadoctor Kakadu C Intensive Vitamin C Peel Pad with ferulic acid and vitamin E. This is legit skincare. This is good stuff. The only thing is if you've never used a chemical exfoliator before, this may be a little too intense for you. It does have glycolic acid, which is a chemical exfoliator, and it may help encourage your collagen and elastin production, but it also may be a little too harsh for sensitive skin. There's rose flower water, which I love to see in skincare. There's also lactic acid, which is another AHA chemical exfoliator. You definitely want to use sunscreen during the day. They even say that in the directions for the product if you're using this, because it is going to exfoliate the top layer of your skin, making you more sensitive to the sun's rays. So make sure you're using a sunscreen. Don't overdo it. There is denatured alcohol in this, but it's way down. I think it's the 9th ingredient. So I'm not as mad about that as I would be if it was higher up. So it says to use it daily. But if you've never used a chemical exfoliator before, you might want to start off 1 to 2 days a week and see how it goes and then bump it up if you're okay. I know when I overdid it on chemical exfoliators, I saw a thinning of my skin and it totally freaked me out. So just be careful with this one. Is it good skincare? Yes, but proceed with caution. Philosophy's Renewed Hope in a Jar. I have never been impressed. Like I said last week, I've never been impressed with Philosophy skincare, man. I mean, there's some good things. There's glycerin in here, which is that humectant. There's glycolic acid, which is a good exfoliant. But other than that, there's no other skincare in there before the preservative. All the good skincare is after the preservative. So I don't think this is worth $20. I think you could definitely spend $20 in much better places than this, unfortunately. And then finally for this day, we have the Clinique Quick Liner for Eyes Intense. I've never tried these, so I can't speak to them. I'm sorry. March 29th, the Tarte Tartlet Toasted Eyeshadow Palette. I'm actually thinking about maybe picking this one up because it's one of those that I feel like people want to see duped. I think a lot of people already own this palette, so I'm thinking about maybe getting this one at the $19.50 price point. I've heard good things about it. I've never tried it. We're back with Juice Beauty next. Not a fan of Juice Beauty. I think that juice in your skincare is something that hasn't been researched enough to make it a major ingredient. The number 1, 2, and 3 ingredients in this are apple juice, grape juice, and lemon juice. Apple juice and grape juice. There's at least apple juice. I know that there's some preliminary skincare that it may help a little bit with anti-aging stuff. Grape juice, I haven't seen anything for it applied topically. Lemon juice is not good for your skin. There's some other good skincare ingredients in here like aloe juice, glycerin. Then we have xanthan gum, which is usually where we start hitting that 1% line around the xanthan gum. So I don't know how much of the rest of the stuff in there, but of note, we have shea butter, sunflower seed oil, which is great. And then they start getting into weird stuff like plant stem cells, which there just isn't the research behind it yet. So I would say this is hokey, especially at a $40 price point, to have lemon juice that high up with a bunch of hokey ingredients that might do nothing. It might do something. It might do something. There just isn't research behind it for me to invest my $40 in it. All right, the Cover FX Shimmer Veils, they're okay. They're a veil. Just be prepared for a veil of shimmer. They're not opaque like the Stila ones or other like liquid eyeshadows. They're not opaque. They're a very light shine of shine. So just be aware of that. They're fine, especially for like a little bit of a tap right in the center of the lid. It can really make your eyes pop. It's very pretty. Okay, here it is. The Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Loose Setting Powder. I like it just as much as the Beauty Bakery. It's really just one or the other. They pretty much do the same thing in my eyes. 2 more for this day. The Shiseido White Lucent Brightening Cleansing Foam. In Korean culture, there's a very big on skin whitening, and one of the people that were in the reviews was very excited about the whitening effects of this product. I couldn't find any ingredients that have been identified, at least from my research, as a whitening ingredient, so I'm not really sure about that, even though it does say white lucent, which makes me think that that was the intention of it. But I couldn't find a lot of significant skincare in there. It may be a very fine cleanser, but I couldn't really find good skincare in there. So I don't think that it's worth the $20 unless it really just cleanses very nicely, which I just don't know. But just don't expect a big skincare punch from this product. And finally, the Velour Lashes. I've heard great things about Velour Lashes. I only have 1 pair. I've never used them because they're like this big. Like I feel like I could fly away if I tried to put them on. I'm exaggerating. They're not really that big. But I've heard good things. So at $13 for 1 pair. I like my Ardells. I like my Cocoa Lashes, so I don't know if there's a huge difference with Velour. I'm not really sure. I would love to know your thoughts down below if you've tried them. And we're on the very last day. We have the Stila Stay All Day Liner. That is a classic eyeliner. I remember recommending this to my sister-in-law back many years ago when this first came out. I do find that it does smudge a bit though on me, unfortunately, especially through the day. I'm getting tired and I start going like this, and then I realize my eyeliner is just smudged up the side of my face. But I mean, it applies very nicely. It's very, very black. It's a brush tip. It's a really nice liner, except for me, it does smudge a little, so it's not my favorite. All right, the Mario Badescu Drying Lotion. Okay. I know a lot of people really love this stuff, and I've heard that it's very, very effective. I'm just saying be careful. Okay, so it has isopropyl alcohol in it, which is not a good alcohol, but it is an antibacterial, and that's why they put it in this treatment. It also has calamine, which is gonna do the drying of the blemish. And there's also other acne treating ingredients like sulfur. So just as long as you're using it just on the one little spot, and don't put it all over your face. If you're using it just as a spot treatment, not on whiteheads, not on blackheads, but on like cystic acne, I can see this being an effective product. I would say in my brain it kind of freaks me out, but I do know, like I remember getting acne and doing spot treatments and how much they helped and how much they made me feel better about my skin, so I get it. It's just sparingly. Next up is the Dermablend Setting Powder. I've heard great things about Dermablend. I've never tried this powder. I don't know anything about it. And then the last one is Lipstick Queen Select Shade Shifters Lipsticks. I do have the Frog Prince. Frog Prince has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. Let me get it for you real quick. Okay, so Frog Prince looks like this, okay? But then when you put it on, it's one of those, it's shade shifting. So it's really, really pretty. And don't let them fool you that it's gonna turn into your custom perfect shade. That's not really real. It's just reacting to your body heat. So like, don't believe that. But it is a beautiful, beautiful color. I really enjoy this a lot. It's a nice little flush of color. So I would definitely recommend this one. I do like Lipstick Queen lipsticks overall. I do feel like they're overpriced. So at the sale price of $12.50, I think this is definitely worth it. I haven't tried any of the other Shade Shifters ones, but I've tried some of their other lipsticks and I do really, really enjoy them. So now at this point, my friend, it is your turn to contribute in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. Please leave your thoughts about these products down below. Like you noticed, there's a lot of these products that I have not tried, and even the ones that I have tried, I'm not the end all be all of opinions. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if somebody's comment helps you, definitely make sure you thumbs it up, leave them a little thank you comment. Little bit goes a long way for people. And speaking of that, if you haven't already thumbs up this video and you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button right now. It only takes a second and it really, really helps me out a lot. And right about now, YouTube is recommending a video for you, at least it should be if all is going well, a video of mine. If that video looks interesting, go ahead and click on another video of mine. I think that you will definitely enjoy it. And mad love to you. Happy 21 Days of Beauty, and hopefully I will see you with another one of these next week. Mad love, see you soon.